Shalom. This is Rabbi Mark Hillel Kunis and my taste of Torah for Parshat Bo 5781. Living through this COVID pandemic, a good deal of our focus is on our bodily needs, like whether we have enough food or toilet paper, or finding new ways to exercise or just getting the vaccine. Most of us are also focused on keeping our sanity, and so we worry about finding what to watch on Netflix and Amazon Prime, or what books are worth reading a second or third time. May I suggest that we also focus on our spiritual needs. Spend time learning Torah, like reviewing some of the week's Parsha every day. And I guarantee you'll feel better than watching episodes of the 4th season of Netflix The Crown. Let me share with you an insight in this week's Torah portion that sheds light on one of the great spiritual questions. Is there life after death, or should I say life after life? Will your neshama, your soul, survive your death? During the last plague upon the Egyptians, the killing of the Egyptian firstborn, the Torah teaches, U'lechol b'nei Yisrael lo yecharatz kelev l'shono, and to all of Israel, a dog did not wet his tongue. The commentators explain that this means that in all the Jewish homes, a dog did not bay or bark, as opposed to the Egyptian homes, where dogs were baying and barking. Why? You see, dogs are extraordinary beings. Among their superpowers, they can sense the presence of actual things that we humans cannot, like impending weather or the presence of cancer that has been documented recently. There is plenty of documentation that dogs and other animals can sense paranormal activity. Kabbalah understands from this verse that dogs can sense the presence of a parting soul shortly after death, and so they bark or bay at it. This verse is telling us that in the Jewish homes, the dogs did not bay because there were no deaths, and hence no parting souls. We see from here that upon death, the soul departs from the body. Tradition then tells us that each must return to its source. The body must return to Mother Earth, as the Torah teaches, for dust thou art, and to dust thou shalt return. That is why we bury the body as soon as we can. After burial, the soul then returns to its source, to God and the world of the souls. The neshama can't or does not want to, or is not allowed to just move far away. It must do this in stages. According to the mystical Zohar, the soul hovers at the house where we sit Shiva for 7 days before ascending to the world of the souls. The soul can actually see who is sitting Shiva and who is not, who is really crying for his death and who comes to visit. And so when you pay a Shiva call, you really actually honor that soul. One of my teachers told me that a student once mentioned that when his father was dying, existing between this world and the next, his father talked about seeing a neighbor in the room. He was gently told that the neighbor was not there. Later they found out that that neighbor, who actually lived on another floor, had just died. There are literally tens of thousands of such stories. The Talmud teaches, Kol Yisrael yesh lahem chelek l'olam haba. All Israel has a share in the world to come. The end of that passage tells us who doesn't get into the next world. And the first category is those who deny the afterlife. Why is that? Because faith depends on believing that God is fair. And when life seems unfair, the existence of an immortal soul is crucial for that faith. Perhaps God can make it up to that soul in the afterlife, or reincarnate that soul back into this world for some sort of a do-over. Either way, the existence of your neshama, your immortal soul, is crucial to faith. And one of the main purposes of life, my friends, is to do the godly things like exercising kindness, compassion, wisdom, studying Torah that animates your soul. And in the end, all these things bring out the real you, your neshama. Have a great Shabbos.